Whew, I suppose it's fitting that there's a thunderstorm today. Um, Kind of goes with my emotions. What do I even say? Other than I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. It was hell of a game. Gotta hand it to Vasilevsky. He absolutely stood on his head um, through that game and through. I mean, game two. Game two was probably more of the heartbreaker than last night's game was. Because I mean, to put 43 shots on net and still lose. There's a lot I could go back to and just, wish for. But at the end of the day, you know what? We played in the Stanley Cup final. Look, how many fan bases get to say that? I don't want to sound ungrateful for the fact that I'm a fan of a team that has 24 Stanley Cups. And, hear it constantly from people. Yeah, like you got 24 Stanley Cups, leave some for the rest of the league. But I like to also think of it in terms of generations, right? So the last time that the Habs won a Stanley Cup, I was between 8 and 9 years old. As a diehard Habs fan, I have not witnessed a Stanley Cup win. That last Stanley Cup win, I was a kid and living in Devils, Rangers, Islanders territory. It's hard to feel the excitement of the team that you've chosen to root for winning the Stanley Cup. And living in this part of the country, hockey culture hadn't really built up, at least not in New Jersey quite as much until several years later when the Devils started winning their Stanley Cups, when they won 3 Stanley Cups. I think that's around the time that, New Jersey really kind of built up more of a hockey culture. And honestly, it wasn't until 2013 that I was able to follow the Habs regularly with the proliferation of NHL subscription services where we could watch games over the internet. And since I live in an area that is not subject to blackout restrictions, I was able to watch all of the Habs games through an NHL TV subscription service. That was around the time that I developed that sort of die-hard fan lifestyle, diving into the fan culture of a hockey team. Yeah, so for me, I haven't really witnessed a Stanley Cup run. So to be able to be a part of that, to be able to experience this kind of a playoff run, God, it was magical. Look, if you told me at the beginning of the season that we would lose in heartbreak fashion in the Stanley Cup final, I might hesitate on that. I would there's a part of me that would almost rather continue the same mediocrity of, getting into the playoffs and then getting bounced in the first round, because I wouldn't want to experience that heartbreak. But now looking back, I would take all of that back. This playoff run was something else. And the memories that I've gained because of it, I'll have these for a lifetime. I'm so grateful to have experienced this Stanley Cup run. It was exciting. It was thrilling. Coming out of the pandemic where I wasn't able to watch hockey with my friends. So, I'm actually part of a Habs fan group called NYC Habs. The little core group there, we're kind of a family. We've built this up over the last several years. The group has been going strong for about 8 years now. I've been with the group for almost 5 years. We've been through a lot watching the Habs sort of like flounder in mediocrity for the last several years. So to get together to come through a pandemic and have this Stanley Cup run be the first thing that we do as a group after being, essentially quarantined for over a year. It was something else. This experience was amazing. And yeah, I'm so grateful for it. So I guess kind of looking back on this past playoff run, I'm sad. because Carey Price won't get to win the Stanley Cup. A goalie who is arguably one of this generation's best has yet to win the championship that he so deserves to win. And this isn't to say that he's gone. It's still entirely possible that we'll build a team in front of him in the next few years while he's still kind of not too far away from his prime. I think the tandem that we have right now of Carey Price and Jake Allen, where Carey Price doesn't have to play more than like 50 some odd games in a season and then can go into the playoffs without having gotten beaten up over the course of an 82 game regular season. To be able to have a number 2 goalie who's as good as Jake Allen is really helpful for Carey Price, I think, and could set us up for a good future. And now a team that's being built in front of him. The young players that we have, Cole Caulfield, who isn't even in his rookie season yet, Nick Suzuki, who is for his age one of the smartest, most like clear visioned kinds of hockey players. At 21 years old, what he's accomplished is outstanding. Kotkaniemi, despite his sort of lack of contribution over the last bit of the finals, even through a decent chunk of the playoffs, he was sort of non-existent. I wouldn't call him a liability, but he certainly wasn't an asset. So I'm perfectly fine with Ducharme's decision to scratch him for the last couple games. But still, I am excited for his development. He's showing flashes of greatness. We've got a bright future, but I am sad for Carey Price and for Shea Weber. Despite how excited I am about the future of this team, a Stanley Cup run is not guaranteed. There are 31, soon to be 32 teams in this league. Half of the league won't make it into the playoffs. And then to get through each of those 7-game series to make it to the finals that's a tall order. So no, it's not guaranteed. Just because we pulled it off somehow this year, it's not guaranteed for next year. So I'm kind of sad that there's a distinct possibility that Carey Price may never win a Stanley Cup. Shea Weber, this incredible veteran, another one who may never win a Stanley Cup, and one of the best leaders I think that our team has had in a long time. I don't want to take too much away from Max Pacioretty, though. To be fair, I think that making him the captain was probably one of the worst decisions that the organization made in recent memory. So there was almost no recourse other than to offload him. But also, I'm very grateful for the trade because of that trade, we ended up with Nick Suzuki, who is, I think, one of those guys who could be a solid 1C or 2C for years to come. I think we've got him. If we can lock him down, the next decade is going to be amazing as we see Nick Suzuki flourish into a star on this team. Cole Caulfield is another one who has a very bright future ahead of him. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the future, but I'm also sad about the potential of these great players that I've seen play on this team for such a long time. I mean, Shea Weber hasn't played on this team for that long, but he's been in the league for a very long time, and I think he deserves a cup. He's one of the greats of this generation. So it's certainly a future Hall of Famer. Having said all of that, what an incredible run. Yes, it's heartbreaking. It's always heartbreaking to watch your team lose in the final. And there's a reason that, I and some others said early on, we'd almost rather not get into the playoffs than lose in the finals in heartbreak fashion. At the beginning of the season, you almost want to spare yourself the pain of a heartbreak loss like that. But the journey that we went on as a fan base, watching that team, the journey that team went on, I'd take all of that back. And I'm sure any other fan who has said that would take that back in a heartbeat because of what we experienced during these playoffs. If you're a Habs fan like me and you also live in the New York City area, we would love to have you as part of our crew. Just look us up. We are at NYC Habs on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us meetup.com/NYC Habs. You'll find all of our events there. Obviously, we are done for the season, but the group will be getting back together for the 2021-22 season and beyond. We're a fantastic group, and we would love to welcome you. We welcomed a bunch of new people to the crew this year as the Habs went on this amazing playoff run, and I'm sure that many of them will turn into regulars. Now, of course, once we hit the playoffs, there's always a lot of new fans coming out of the woodwork who then don't rejoin us for the following season. But we always get more people sticking around. So if you're looking for a great group of people to watch hockey with, definitely look us up. Again, at NYC Habs on Twitter and Instagram. And our events are all on meetup.com/NYC Habs. I didn't really want to turn this into a promotional for NYC Habs, but I love this group so much. I think you would have a blast watching hockey with us. So I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and drop a like, subscribe if you're interested in getting some like random hockey content from time to time. And hopefully I'll see you next season, maybe even joining up with the NYC Habs. All right, peace.